Welcome back, Yard Talk. It is me, Big T. I already know the drill. We back with another one. Man, these artists get better and better every single time. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna go ahead and pass the microphone. Let this magnificent, musically talented brother tell his story, tell his name, and yeah, we gonna get down to it.
What up, what up, what up? Yard Talk's going down. T.L. Williams, Chicago's very own. I'm here with Big T, Yard Talk, baby. We getting it in. We chopping it up.
Yeah, I already know. Chicago, damn Chicago. We've been getting a lot of Chicago artists lately. I like it though. No, I like it.
I mean, you know, that's what happens when you're dealing with Chicago, man. You know, that's the crossroads for talent, man. Your favorite artist, favorite musician is from Chicago, man. You know.
Yeah. Ironically, my favorite artist is this guy right here, but his daddy from Chicago, so I guess that means something.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. So, from your experience, what is Chicago like?
Man, Chicago is one of the most beautiful places in the world, man. The good, the bad, the ugly is what makes it unique. You know what I'm saying? Everything about it. And musically, like I said, it's the crossroads for so many different sounds around the world, man. You know, when we talk about the origins of jazz, Chicago is one of the staple cities. When you talk about the origins of blues, Chicago is one of the most important cities in terms of blues. And when you talk about R&B, Chicago, even before like the legendary Detroit or anybody else, there was Chicago. There was Michigan Avenue, Record Row. You know, everybody came to Chicago to get that origin, and then all the way, you know, from there, all that music still gets sampled today in hip hop and pop and anything else. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like the crossroads. It's been a mecca for generations.
Yeah, no, for sure. It has, and I love it. I love so many of the great artists, like you said, back in even during jazz, and yeah, I love it. I love it.
For sure.
So, in Chicago's history, where did you start coming into play?
Man, you know, I started coming into play about 10 years ago or so, man. You know, I started doing my thing. I'd always been a band kid growing up, so I was in the school bands, you know, things like that. And when I started my journey as an artist, you know, one of my first joints came out, Getting More Money Than You. It became a classic real quick, and it was just it's been a blessing ever since, man. Like to be able to be at a cookout and hear Frankie Beverly and Maze, and then hear Bobby Brown, and then hear me is dope, man. You know, words can hardly explain it sometimes. So yeah, I mean, you know, I started falling in there about 2010s. Yep.
Yeah, no, I love that. Yeah. You said 10 years ago, about 2015. Yeah, it's been Butterfly. Yeah, damn, a lot of great music came out that time.
2014, 2016, yeah, no doubt.
Around that time, what was some key inspirations for you?
Man, I am inspired by so many things, right? Life, of course, but a lot of other people's great music. So I mean, I know you mentioned The Pimp a Butterfly. That was a big inspiration. You know, just I've always been inspired. Like I grew up listening to producers, and paying attention to producers like, you know, Pharrell, Timbaland, Swiss Beats. You know, even you know, Bink, things like that, right? Just different types of producers, and getting to know their sounds, getting to know what makes them special. So, you know, started to craft my own sound, and that was important to me, right? That was inspiration because that was important to me to craft my own sound and make sure people are able to hear that that's a T.L. Williams record wherever they at. So,
yeah. What are some key, like, elements that you like to incorporate into your lyricism and instrumentals that you choose to hop on to really differentiate yourself from others?
Lyrically, I like to communicate, man. I like to be direct, right? So I love metaphors. I love poetry. At the same time, when you're direct about something, you capture an emotion. When you capture an emotion in a song, people can relate to that emotion, and they play that song over and over again because it becomes a soundtrack to their life, because it represents an emotion that they have whenever they have it. So I just make sure that whatever I'm saying, whether it be in a metaphor or direct, that it's directly conveying that emotion. And then, you know, sonically, I'm a musician myself. I play 6 instruments, so I'm always making sure that instrumentation is apparent and you can hear it clear, you know, whatever the instrumentation is, that you can hear it through the arrangement, and you could feel that human quality of the instruments or the vocals or the vocal production, whatever it is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, lyricism and then the combination of instrumentals are a key. Just two out of the many key pieces and elements that go into creating a great piece of work, whether it's a singular song, an EP, or a whole album.
Whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing.
It's like cooking, you know? And I honestly think food and music go hand in hand. You know, at a party, like, man, if you know how to cook and you know how to make some music, you finna have all the people, everybody, you finna have everybody at your table.
Come on. You already know. You already know.
Yeah. So what was life before you got into the music realm?
You know, I started playing piano when I was 4, so it's really a situation where music found me, and found me early. My family was a cover band and traveled around and played R&B and top 40 songs, right? Everybody in the family was in the band. My brothers and sisters, my mom, everybody. And I joined the band when I was 11, so it really was like a situation where I was born into it. You know, music found me early, so it was always around. And you know, I grew up in a house that had all different types of sounds going on. One room would be playing Bobby Womack, the next room is playing Lauryn Hill, the next room is playing, you know, Blink 182. It just started soaking it all up.
What would you say are some of your top 5 inspirations, or top 5 artists in general of all time?
Ooh, top 5 artists all time. Now these are not in order, but I'ma just name like 5 that inspire me a lot, right? D'Angelo. Stevie Wonder. We can do, of course, you know, Marvin Gaye, right? Stevie and Marvin, they definitely go in there. The Isley Brothers, Sly Stone. Yeah, those are 5 right off the top that have a good part.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
No doubt.
How would you say your evolution from when you started to now has like how would you describe your growth as an artist since you started to now?
I love it more. You know what I'm saying? Like so that's, you know, that's a great place to start. Like I love it more. I'm always finding new sounds, new ways to convey messages. And I'm getting more and more comfortable with it with each album. Like this is album number 9 that's coming out, and I enjoy the sport of it more and more each time. So with that, I feel more comfortable, right? And I feel like my comfort zone is expanding, as every time I go outside of it. So I feel like my comfort zone is expanding. And yeah, it's exciting. It's fun.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Since you started, what kind of feedback did you start getting, and what like kind of criticism, like, if you had any, and how did you handle that?
It is crazy because I was doing a lot of instrumentation with the vocals early on, right? So there was a lot of singing and a lot of trumpet, right? So one of my instruments was trumpet, and people can, to this day, when they come to a show, they'll see me pull that out and play in the middle of a song. And I remember when I first started, there was a polarization, right? It was either people who wanted to hear the horn and didn't want me to sing a whole lot, or people who wanted me to sing and didn't want to hear the horn a whole lot. And so there was this early sort of polarization, and it was either one or the other. But of course, after a while, after you kept doing it, it became my thing, and it became something I'm known for. So it was like, instead of one or the other, people started looking for both. Even to the point where it was like, if I wanted to do one or the other, they'd be like, well, where's the other one? So that's what I experienced early on. But it helps that wise God and wise people told me to keep going. You know what I'm saying? And don't switch it up and don't stop. So that helped people come together with it.
Right. Most definitely.
Sure.
Sometimes we get creator's block doing all this. Being an artist is not like, we're still human. So like, people tend to want so much from us in our music, but we can only give so much. So like, when you have writer's block, when you're not ready to create yet, what do you do to bounce back from that?
Step out of the studio, go live life, come back to it when you live some life and you got something to say. I feel like sometimes that just be because you just, well, for me, it happens when I'm like in the studio too long and I kind of ran out of juice, like a battery, right? And you got to go recharge the battery. And so that helps me when I'm like just plug back into the real world, you know what I mean? Plug back into outside and just relax and enjoy your life. When I do that, the ideas start flowing. So that is usually what helps me, is kind of get up from the computer or the microphone or the booth, or you know what I mean, step out the booth. Right.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, I also do see that noticed when I checked out your Instagram when I first found you, you also are co-own a beauty company.
Yeah, man.
I would love to know more about that.
Yeah, man. Co-founder of SHOUTOUTS Beauty. Me and my wife founded that back in 2022. We are a natural hair care company, and all our products are plant-based, vegan. You know what I mean? All our products are plant-based, no chemicals. So we deal with we shampoos, conditioner, oil, everything for your hair and your beard, and for women and men. You know what I mean? Everybody that has curls, locks, texture hair, whatever you got going on. But again, all of our products are 100% plant-based, so there's no chemicals, there's no parabens, nothing in there. A lot of folks that have hair care products be having endocrine disruptors in them that have been linked to like cancer and reproductive issues. But us, we don't have any of that in there. There's no chemicals in there at all. It's all plant-based, and so it's been really dope, man. It's been an amazing experience. We've actually been able to help cancer survivors regrow their hair after chemo. So
that's big.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Making it happen.
Yeah, I've seen some of the things y'all been doing with that. Definitely. What's that dynamic like between you and your wife co-owning that business?
Yeah, it's lit with us, man, because we best friends anyway. So it's just that's what makes it fun. You know what I'm saying? To be able to to be able to work with your best friend all day. And we both want that common goal. We both want to see that happen. We really locked in like that. So it's just great. Like we just get more done that way. It's fun.
Yeah. And what is her opinion on your music career?
Man, she's an artist too, and she's helped either write, like she co-wrote a lot of my songs with me, or co-produced a lot of the records with me. We were a group at one point, so her being an artist herself, she loved it. You know what I mean? Like, and I get a chance to produce her music as well. So she's definitely plays a huge part in the inspiration as well. That's like a muse. That's my muse. So she loves it. I mean, she's a part of it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a lovely thing, to be able to know how to balance the shared careers that you have and still maintain your foundation of a friendship and continue to grow and build on your relationship.
No doubt.
That is so beautiful, and it's crazy to say, but there's not many people that can achieve that.
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely understand that it's rare. But so we cherish it.
Definitely got to cherish it every moment. What would you say has probably been the most struggling thing in your shared careers?
I really can't say much. I could say that we're so passionate about what we do. So you know how it is when two ambitious people are working together, right? Sometimes it gets so passionate that the debates get heated. But that doesn't happen often with us, but it can happen. You know what I mean? And we just that's where patient communication comes in, and listening and understanding the other person's point of view.
Definitely. And that doesn't just go for, this goes for any kind of relationship, whether it's a friendship, a business relationship, any connection like we have now. Like this, these are the core foundations of it.
Yep.
If you lose that, you're gonna be fucking up in the long run, for real.
Indeed.
For real, most definitely. Now, I know you did say you are definitely into a lot of instruments and had previous experience in band. What would you say is your favorite instrument?
Man, I don't have a favorite. I love them all. They're all my kids. I love them all. I don't have a favorite, man. Whatever I can. Being blessed to be able to do multiple is great, because whatever I feel like communicating at that moment, whatever I need to communicate, I can pick it up, man. So that's I can't say that I have a favorite.
Which instrument do you tend to experiment with more?
Right now I'm definitely unlocking a world with guitar, which comes as no surprise, because everybody knows how important guitar is to the culture. But yeah, definitely finding new things, new vibes, new worlds with that. Yeah.
Okay. But nah, I definitely gotta get some product, most definitely.
For sure.
I got mixed hair, so a little bit of dandruff from time to time.
No doubt. We here for you.
I gotta rock the braids from time. You feel me?
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to slide on some of that. Y'all go ahead and get to it, by the way. And while you at it, like, subscribe, and all that. Like, what are you doing? You sitting around eating your goddamn meat, French fries, shit. I get it, man. This shit delicious. Like, come on, man. Like, you just in a different world. Like, subscribe on this shit. You can find your next favorite artist. Your next favorite artist, bro. And this right here.
This yard talk, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's yard talk. I already know. While we at it, we gonna get down to the next piece. man, we just gonna get down to breaking down like what you fuck with more or less, like what you tend to favor more, or like where your mindset lingers on certain topics. Like, for example, what would you say is your favorite? What would you say is the best decade?
The best what? I didn't catch that.
The best decade.
Oh man, the best decade musically. I'm gonna have to say the '70s, man. It kind of all coming from the '70s, man. The '70s, and '80s is like a close second. So I say '70s, and then '80s close second, because it's all coming from there, man. You know, the instrumentation was unmatched in the '70s. You know. Yeah.
It definitely was. Now, we are artists ourselves. I'm an artist myself. You're an artist, but we still have our favorite artists. And sometimes we like to see multiple of our favorite artists work together. So if you had the chance to see your favorite artists do a collab together, who you want to see?
Like 2 of my favorite artists.
2, 3, 4, 5, a whole however much. Whether it's a song, a whole project.
I mean, I got so many. I got so many. Kendrick Lamar and D'Angelo would be outrageous. That would be. I think that'd be a incredible song.
Kendrick Lamar and Frank Ocean also.
Yeah, that would be off the chain. That one would be off the chain as well, man.
Yeah. I was watching some Billie Eilish the other day. I'm like, Billie Eilish and SZA would make a great duo. They just got that, you know.
Yeah.
They
would kill.
Yeah, they would tear it up. Now I had to go look it up. I'm like, have they done a song? No, they have not done a song together. They need to do a song together. That would sound beautiful. Like, goddamn, goosebumps for a whole month. Like,
yeah, that'd be nuts.
Hell yeah. Now, other forms of media like TV shows and movies also tend to mix pretty well with film.
Mm-hmm.
And it still has to be still this way. 'Cause when I edit, it was just I edit a certain way.
There you go.
Okay. TV and film tend to mix pretty well with music. They kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
When you're creating a film, when you are a filmmaker, sometimes you tend to match your scenes with certain music.
Right.
So if you had the chance to create a show or a film, or even be the main artist for the whole soundtrack, how would you? What would you create, and how would you match the soundtrack to it?
So when you ask that question, you talk about like an existing film project, right? Or like
either an existing or something a whole new idea of your creation.
Man, I love, and I've actually had the opportunity to do this and work on film scores. So I love being able to score films. I think there's a lot of sci-fi films that have great scores. Whether it's like John Williams in Star Wars, you know, Hans Zimmer with literally anything he does. Man, there's like, you know, like Stranger Things. I've always admired the scoring on that. Different. There's so many. There is so many. But yeah, I would make, if I would make my own though, right, I'd do something like, like I'd take two genres and put them together. So like a rom-com, but it had a sci-fi outlay with it. So a lot of dope, like sort of analog synthesizers, you know what I mean? But telling a love story.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
No doubt.
If someone takes this idea, I'm about to say it. Fuck it, but probably not. Anyways, I got this crazy because I also own a production company. Yeah.
Dope.
Which is also the umbrella company to this. I highly advise productions, and I'm writing scripts for movies right now, but when I get to the point of television, I got a crazy comedy series. It's kind of like this Atlanta kind of vibes to it.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of comedy to it. Kind of Dave, like that show.
For sure.
Yeah. Mixture that. It's called My Broke Best Friend. People have been telling me like, oh, why don't you film this in Dallas? This is your hometown. Like, I got something in store, and it's gonna be that show that I'm gonna film there. And it's kind of gonna be reflective of my life. We all had that broke best friend. We've all been broke.
Right.
We've all
had it a bit.
Right. And we've all like gone through things trying to get some money, and that's what that series is just about. Just multiple events of just trying to live in this world financially and keep the chili in pockets every day. My broke best friend. I'm that broke best friend. Sometimes I've been the broke best friend,
For sure.
So it's kind of a thing that could work out. But I would definitely have all the artists that we've interviewed throughout the platform to get them to do a song or two for the whole series. Yeah. Just strictly for the series. That'd be crazy work. Crazy work.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
Now, speaking of music, what would you say are the pros and cons of it?
The art or the industry? Because they got two sets.
Both.
In terms of the art, right? So, I mean, the pros of the art is that you making art, right? It's just art, right? So that's a pro, that you get the chance to do that. One of the cons, and multiple people say this, one of the cons I would say is that as beautiful as art is, art doesn't matter. Art is a part of the branding, right? Art doesn't have to change your life. If you know how to market your art, you can change people's lives. But the art itself doesn't do that. You then have to, I always say, like, making a song is like making a baby, and everybody loves the baby making part. But then once you have the baby, you're with the child. You have to raise that child. You have to turn it into the president. You have to make it a millionaire, right? So everybody loves the making the song part. Nobody loves the things you have to do once the song is out. And that's market that song, and not just for the 6 months or a year that it comes out, but what about 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Did you make a song that matters that long? All this stuff matters. For the industry part, I mean, the pros for the industry is like, when you understand relationships, then you always gonna be all right. You understand how to navigate in the industry, because it's all about contacts and contracts, relationships. One of the cons of the industry is how hard it is to keep and maintain valuable, substantial relationships with people that won't screw you over or won't be shady with you, you know. So everything has two sides.
Yeah, that's different. That's different than what I've normally heard, and I like that. I like how you put that together. Yeah. Now, speaking on marketing, what would you say is some of your marketing experience?
Man, I've been able to be independent for blessed to be able to be independent for several years, and you know what I've learned is that my marketing experience varies. What I learned is that it's important to pay attention to the times and the platforms in which you deliver music to people. Now, I was watching somebody on social media, not like earlier today, and I was like, the person was asking them, do music videos matter? And that person was like, no, they don't anymore. And I was like, well, they, you know, yes and no, right? Because music videos still matter. People still want to see them, but they're not the end all be all the way they were decades ago, you know. And that's because we don't have an MTV anymore where MTV showed music videos, and so you and your music video getting that scene was the end game for your song. It's great for fans to see that from you today, but you have a platform to maintain, right? It's not, MTV doesn't even show music videos anymore. It's your digital platforms, your Instagram account, your Facebook account, your TikTok, your YouTube, your SoundCloud. These are your channels that you are now the producer of and curator of, and so it's up to you to maintain it's programming. You're the program director of your own channel, so you have to be in charge of your programming times on your channel. So do music videos matter? Yeah, they're still great, but they're not the end all be all. So part of that, so understanding marketing experience is understanding how to be able to adapt and be able to still deliver content and connect with your fans, your fan base.
Yeah. You know, and I know they say like we're in the era of content creation era. You know, all you see is these artists doing 5, 10, 15 videos of one snippet of a song with the lyrics, you know, with the words on the. I'm personally not that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I know an old friend of mine who does music, and he's been doing music for years now. He's doing some damn numbers on his song. He doesn't do all that shit. He does his videos, he does his song, he's in and out, he posts on Instagram, but some way, somehow, that man's being able to get them numbers up. So people assume like, oh, you gotta do all this to get yourself out there, you gotta be on TikTok. You don't have to. You can. It can help you.
Right.
But really, what people don't the biggest thing to marketing is money. You gotta be able to put the money behind it. It costs money to keep promoting it on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, wherever you're choosing to put it out, whatever content you're putting out, you still gotta, wherever you're putting it out at, you still gotta put money behind it to promote it. You can post it all you want, but if you don't put the money behind it, it's not gonna push any further than what you got.
Yeah, you know, you think about it, right? Your fan is on Instagram at a certain time every day, right? And so, yeah, you can post, but they only go on the Instagram the one time. So what about the rest of the 24 hours of the day where they're out, where they're watching TV, where they're in their car, where they're, you know, what are you doing to hit them in those spots as well? That's where you start the conversation of, you got a hit record. which you still have to make a hit outside of your social media platform. So yeah.
So many other things go into it. So many. Even just little small investments to yourself, like getting $3,000 to work with a big time producer. You know, those investments will help. That's marketing. You're working with this big producer. Their name's gonna be behind your project. You're being able to get your name out there through this big time. You know what I mean? This is marketing. I'm marketing myself through you. You're marketing yourself through your, you know.
Now, watch this though. Same $3,000. Instead of a big name producer, you go and get your homie whose beats that you like. Right? He's not a big name producer, but you like his stuff. You negotiate, let's say $500 to get X amount of beats from them. Right? Because this is all about, right? You don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. Right? So you negotiate that. Boom. You got 7 tracks from, or 7 tracks from that producer. Boom. You got 7 records. You still have $2,500 left to promote with. Let's say you spend another $500 to shoot visuals for each of those 7 tracks, and this is where like the music video doesn't have to be a huge big budget music video. Yeah. It just has to be engaging in an engaging content video of that song, of each song. Boom, now you got 7 videos, and then you set up a release schedule for each one. Still got $2,000 to work with. Now you got the content, now you got the EP, now you got this. You still got $2,000 to work with. Boom, you start posting those on a consistent basis. Algorithms start noticing that you do this. They start showing you to more people. You take the 2 or 3 songs out of that 7 that's buzzing, and that people really are like, ooh, these the ones. Run ads on them. Mm-hmm. Boom, run ads on them. Now you're showing it to non-followers, and now there's a fan discovery thing going on. Boom, now you still what? As that's another $500. You still got $1,500 to work with, and you've done all this stuff. So, they say it ain't how much you make, it's how much you keep. Mm-hmm. So, being smart with your marketing budget is very key. Back then and now, and moving into the future, you set aside a marketing budget, but it's how you use it.
Yeah. Even this other artist yesterday, I had a second interview with him. And he was saying, he puts in about $130, $150 at most on each post he has, on each major song that he posts on his Instagram. He gets a lot of reoccurring, like that little $150 ain't that much. So put that in every month. That's a big investment, and he's probably going to get a big return to new fans, new followers, such, and then
makes a big difference.
It's gonna be a domino effect,
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. See, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Makes a big difference.
What would you say? I mean, you definitely are doing a lot, like with the beauty business, and then the music, the instruments, everything. So with all that behind you, how do you see yourself impacting others in the future?
Just keep being the light. I'm noticing that I've been blessed to be able to inspire people to do various things, whether it is make music themselves, start their own business, start their podcast. Continue to be representation. Continue to be me. Continue to be a blessing. yeah, you know, that's what I know I can be, and know I can bring forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Real shit. Now, I also know you've gotten the chance to do some performances.
Mm-hmm.
What's that like to prepare for? How do you prepare for performances like that?
I've been thankful to be able to have a great team, you know, great band. Uh, my DJ is amazing, DJ Skyrocket, on tools. You know what I'm saying? Preparing for that that's fun to me, right? I'm always excited to put together the set list and understand the type of crowd that I'm going in front of. Yeah, it's even hard for me to say the word prepare because it's so much fun, right? There's not a lot of work to it, right? It's I always look at performing and touring and doing shows. I always look at performing as like the party that celebrates the hard work that's put in beforehand, the rehearsals, the prep, even making the songs, right? That's work. And so, you know, hitting the stage is like the celebration to me, the party for that. And so we get to perform, showcase, connect. Dope.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and no matter how many people show up at that show, you still getting to connect with them. That's what matters.
1 or 1,000, you know what I mean? Or 100,000. Yeah. It's a show.
Yeah. Show's a show.
No doubt.
I was watching a little video. When does a group turn into a crowd?
So you're asking me,
Yeah,
when does
when do you think a group turns in, like, there could be a group of people at your show, but when does that turn into a crowd?
It's a low number for me. I mean, like, I think like 10. 10 of the right people, 10 of the right people in the audience is a crowd. You know what I mean? I've done shows that intimate, 10, 20, you know what I'm saying? And then everything up above that is a crowd, and you know. But I think that's where it flips. I think that's where a group becomes a crowd.
But also, what I think too in that state, I think anyone can become a crowd, whether it's one person, 2, 10, 15, 30, 80, 100. Anyone could become a crowd.
No doubt.
As long as you got them engaged.
Yep. That's it. As long as they into it, that's a crowd.
Yeah.
And it's your obligation to move the crowd.
Oh yeah. Speaking of moving the crowd, what has been the most popular song that you have out?
Yeah, that would be Getting More Money Than You. Like I said, it's an evergreen record, and I'm thankful to have it, man. I'm thankful to have it. It's now hitting a point where, you know, it's like 10 years old, so it hits multiple. It was always hitting multiple generations at once, but now it's hitting new generations of people. You know, kids coming up. So, man, got an evergreen record in my catalog, man. You know,
that's good that you have that record be able to hit a generation like that. That's knowing that you can create that then means you can evolve on top of that now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a crazy feeling. What would you
doubt.
say is your most personal favorite song?
It's always the next one. It's always the next one. I'm that guy. I'm always making new stuff, and I'm always excited about what I'm about to drop on y'all. So, you know, I have several, like, just favorites in my catalog, just personal favorites. But yeah, I'm gonna say the next one, the next batch of records. This new album, Hopeless Romantic, I'm really excited about it. Man, these are all, it's another classic. These are all just banger after banger after certified banger.
Wow.
So, yeah, man, I'm that guy. The next one.
There you go. Yeah. What would you say is a song that you felt like you had to put a lot of emotion behind into it. It was kind of hard for you to write.
I recently had a record on my last album, Star Child. I had a record on there called Field of Dreams, and I had a record on there called Man in the Mirror. Two of them came from a very emotional place. Field of Dreams, of course, came from an emotional place. Writing that one about my father who had passed recently last year. Around that time, he was able to hear it before he passed, which was great. But yeah, man, I mean that came from a pretty emotional place,
Yeah, most definitely. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
We all have our definitely inspirations. My godfather. Well, I have two godfathers. One of them's alive, but it's the other one that passed away that really hit home. And my granny. Yes, I keep her.
Yeah, for sure. My condolences to you and your family, man.
Most definitely. I always keep her right beside me on my table. So yeah. One thing she told me that hits me to this day. She gonna realize your friends ain't really your friends. It stuck with me to this day, and now I realize how close, tight my circle is.
For sure.
Now that doesn't go to say like I still have friends though. I have a lot of friends, and most of those friends happen to be from all the yard talk.
Right.
And I'm definitely appreciate that. I'm not knocking none of that. So.
Dope.
Yeah. Well, that brings us down to the last few questions. After these last few questions, we do have a few fun segments before we close out.
Let's get it.
One of them being finish the lyric. I will at least let you know the name of the artist. Then a versus series, basically artist versus artist, song versus song, album versus album, so on and so forth. And then we also have first thing comes to mind. Pretty simple. I'm gonna say one word. You say what you're thinking. Boom, bada bing, bada boom, and we close out. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Let's get
down to it, man. It's been a movie, man. I love this. Yeah, real shit.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you having me.
I can't wait to log out so I can go get some damn product. Give me some shit on the way. Yeah.
No doubt, we ready for you.
What would you say is the best advice given to you?
Ooh, best advice given to me. So best advice given to me, it's going to sound very simple. But yeah, it was given to me by my dad, who we were just talking about, right? So my dad was a Hall of Fame bowler, right? He's in like the Chicago Bowlers Hall of Fame. I want to say 32 career perfect games, right? So when somebody bowls a 300, he bowled 32 of those in his career. And I bowled too, right? I was a junior bowler as a kid. I was a ranking junior bowler in the state. And so the whole family bowls. And some advice he gave to me, he was giving it to me about bowling, and it was able to translate into life. He said, and all the bowlers out there, y'all gonna understand the lingo. He said, the choice is yours. You can have your 160 average and your 30 pins handicap, and that's fine. And you can win a championship with that. That's fine. You can either have that, or you can learn how to bowl and become a scratch bowler. And the way he said it, right, he was like, you can have your 160 with your 30 pins handicap, or you can learn how to bowl. right. You can figure out how to be the champ, be the best, right? And growing up in that atmosphere, right, it was like, whether those guys won a championship or not, scratch bowlers were respected in a way that the other bowlers weren't. You know what I mean? Like a person that didn't need no handicap pen spot, and really could give you a 200 every time with their eyes closed. Those cats were feared and respected, and he wasn't saying it. He wasn't saying it to diss other bowlers, right? He wasn't saying it to diss the 160 bowlers, because the 160 bowlers can bowl too. But he was like, you can do that, or the choice is yours. And I just interpreted it this way. So that transferred into life, because it was like you can enjoy what you do from a perspective where you don't try to be the best, or you can put the work in and become the pound for pound best. You can box, or you can be the heavyweight champion of the world. You can play basketball, or you can be an NBA champion.
Yeah.
Choice is yours. You know, that was some potent advice.
You can be a rapper, or you can be a multi-winning Grammy winner. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Damn. Kendrick finna be at top though next year for sure.
Man, listen.
He already needs. He just need 2 more. That's it.
2 more.
Damn. And then he's supposed to come out with another album. Yeah, it's over with.
Yeah. He's grabbing those.
Yeah, easy money. Speaking on that, what would you say is the definition of success to you?
It's similar to what we were just talking about, right? So success to me is whether you won 1 Grammy or 10, or whether you won 1 championship or 20. Success to me is, did you play at 100%? Did you give 100% of yourself to your craft and what you was doing? If you can say you did that, then that's success. You know, there's people who played in the NBA and they never won a ring, but they got max deals, and they played, and they scored, and they got their jersey in the rafters of the team that they played for. They're still successful. You know, they did something a lot of people on earth won't be able to do, and that was play basketball at the highest level, right? So that's an example. Did you give 100% of yourself? Did you play at your best?
Yeah. Real shit. No, I definitely like that. Yeah. What would you say is some of your strengths and weaknesses? Now, this can be also musically, and then also just in life in general.
My strength, you know, one of my strengths is that I've been blessed to be able to love what I do and do what I love. So, you know, I don't get tired of it. I don't get burnt out. I don't get tired of it. It's really fun to me, you know. And I realized recently one of my weaknesses is that I know that I've been blessed with gifts and gifts at a certain level. And one of my weaknesses is assuming that because I think somebody is talented, that they work ethic is the same as mine, and so that we just gonna just be friends, right? And that's not necessarily the case every time. So yeah, just assuming people are on the same level as me, or whatever, what have you. That's a weakness that I used to have.
Yeah.
For
now,
sure.
That brings us to the final question.
Let's get it.
Do you have any local artists to shout out? Any local artists, any artists that you just know you want to shout out? You know, by the way, links in the description to everyone that shouted out, and links in the description to him, his music, and everything he's doing.
Man, shout out Bay, of course. Ruby Gold Smoke, RUBY GLD Smoke. All one word on the socials. She's an amazing talent. She's an amazing artist. I'm excited to be able to produce her upcoming solo project. Just a pure vibe. I mean, all the folks, man. All the folks, all the fam. Lamar Creation. What up, Lamar Creation? That's exactly how it's spelled. We got some dope work coming, and just all the other dope artists that that I work with on a regular basis. Yeah, it's your guy T.L. Williams, and that's T.L. Williams official on all socials.
Yeah.
And if you are looking for natural hair care with no chemicals, all plant-based, good for the scalp, good for the body, that's Shateria Beauty. SHATERIA Beauty. All one word on the socials. Come holla at us, ShateriaBeauty.com. We also on Amazon and in Walmart. We get into it.
Yeah, real shit. Tell it like it is, never like it ain't. And
Come on.
That brings us to finish the lyric. Like I said, I'm gonna make it easy on you. At least tell you the name of the artist so you know what to search for. But we gonna start off with Kanye.
All right.
We gonna start off with the old Kanye. We don't do new Kanye.
Back to old Kanye.
Right. It's something that you need to have, cause when she leave your ass, she gonna leave with half.
It's something that you need to have, because when you leave your ass, she gonna leave with half. Oh my goodness. Oh. We want prenup. Yeah, it's something that you need to have, but when she leave your ass, she gonna leave with half. Why do I not know the next line? I give up.
18 years, and all.
10 years, and on the 18th birthday, he found out it wasn't his.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
We got Michael Jackson.
Let's get it.
I can't sing for shit, so I'm gonna do my best.
No problem.
People always told me, be careful what you do, and don't go breaking young girls' hearts.
And mama always told me, be careful who you love. Mama always told me, careful, be careful what you do. Something in you. Hey, Billie Jean. I'm missing that one part. Yeah, Billie. Yep, Billie Jean.
We got Ice Cube. Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. I don't know, but the day seems kinda odd.
Something. No small. And mama cooked the breakfast with no hog.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we got Deborah Cox. I definitely can't sing for shit on this one. This girl got it. So I placed my heart under lock and key to take some time and take care of me. But I turned around
and you're standing here. How did you get here?
Yeah.
Nobody's supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay. We on the road with this one. We got Louis Armstrong.
Oh yeah.
I see trees of green, red roses too, for me and you. And I think to myself,
what a wonderful world.
Yeah. Okay. That brings us to Chris Brown, but it's a little Wayne verse on this Chris Brown verse. So, man, fuck these bitch ass niggas. How y'all doing? I'm a little Tucci. I'm a nuisance.
I know I don't know this one. I think I know the song. I hear the song, but I know I don't know that next part. I know what song is that? What is
I'll
that?
at least let you know the song. Look at me now.
Yeah, I'm like, and I know and I think you know why I don't know that verse too hard, because everybody has gravitated toward
Busta.
The Busta verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Lil Wayne's underrated on this one for sure.
Yeah, his verse was
I'm a nuisance. I go dumb like the Three Stooges.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. All right. Look, he's watching. Okay, he's watching for this next one. Okay. He's right here, and if anything, this guy's watching as well. Okay.
We got Pac in the back, and we got is that Kendrick in the back? Yeah.
So this next one's a Kendrick song.
All right, let's go.
If Pyrus and Crips all got along, they probably got me down by the end of the song.
Seems like the whole city coming against me. Every time I'm in the street, I hear yeah.
Man down. Where you from, my nigga? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now that brings us to Erykah Badu.
Let's get it.
See, now you gotta. There's 4 names you gotta name in the exact order. See, every time you come around, you gotta bring
Jim, James, Paul, and Tyrone.
You can come.
What's up?
Yeah.
The broke ass best friends. That's some broke best friends you're talking about. Yep.
Yes. I might name some characters in the damn show just to shout out to that.
Yep.
Genius. Ah, God. The main character gotta be named Tyrone now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We got Tupac.
Let's
I'm
go.
a straight rider. I won't deny it.
You don't want to fuck with me. Only fucking at me.
Yeah.
But they can't do nothing to a G.
Yeah. Now we got Biggie. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
Salt and pepper and heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape pop till my tape drop. Smoking weed and bamboo, sipping on private stock. Way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. Yeah, let's go.
The hard never thought that hip hop would take it this far.
Take it this far.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Now we got versus series. Starting off, we got Temptations versus STAAXZ Brothers.
Let's get it.
Temptations versus STAAXZ Brothers.
I'm picking.
Yeah.
I love the Temps, but I'm gonna go with the Isleys.
Okay. Billie Eilish versus SZA.
Gotta go with my girl SZA.
Okay. NWA versus Wu-Tang.
Ooh, that's a close one, but man, come on. Wu-Tang.
Yeah. Good Kid, Mad City versus All Eyes on Me.
I don't think one exists without the other. I'm gonna go All Eyes on Me.
Okay. We got Brent Faiyaz versus Sir.
Dang, that's a good one. I'm a Sir fan, man. I'm gonna go with Sir.
Okay.
I like them both. Go with Sir.
We got Illmatic by Nas and The Score by the Fugees.
Ooh, believe it or not, I'm gonna go to Score by the Fugees, man. That was one of the first. It's one of the first CDs I ever like owned, man, and listened to, man. That was like one of my first introductions into hip hop, man. Was The Score. Illmatic is a classic, of course. I love that album, but I gotta go with The Score. That was one of the first joints I listened to as a kid, where I was like, oh, I could do that too. Like I could play, I could rap, I could sing. Like they did it all on that album.
Yeah. Queen Latifah versus Yo-Yo.
Love Yo-Yo. Gotta go with the Queen though.
Okay. Aquemini by Outkast or Demon Days by Gorillaz.
Him and I, Aquemini. Even the sun goes down. Heroes eventually die. Horoscopes off the line. Come on, Aquemini.
Alright, we got TLC versus Destiny's Child.
Gotta go with TLC, man. Hat to the back.
Nicki Minaj or Lil' Kim?
Ooh, wow. Okay. Man, love them both, man. Love them both. I'm gonna have to give Nicki the edge.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to give Nicki the edge on that one.
We got Drew Hill versus Jodeci.
Nothing against Jodeci, man, but I'm gonna have to go with the Drew, man. Gotta enter the Drew.
Okay. We got The Chronic by Dre or Diary by Scarface.
Chronic.
Okay.
Love Scarface. Gotta go with the Chronic.
Capital Punishment by Big Pun or Doggy Style by Snoop.
Love Pun. Gotta go Doggy Style. Gotta go Snoop.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
Snoop was unbeatable. Let's get it.
Butterfly versus My Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Love Dark Fantasy. Love the exploration of sound, but I gotta go with To Pimp a Butterfly on this one. Yeah.
We got Death Certificate by Q, and we got The Blueprint by J.
I love Q, but I ain't no skips on that Blueprint. I'm able to put that on the car and just ride.
Yeah.
Got a Blueprint.
We got Blue Lips by Schoolboy and Big Fish by Vince.
Oh man. Gotta go Blue Lips.
Yeah. It sucks it didn't even get nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
It deserved it. TDE versus Dreamville.
Love Dreamville. Gotta go with TDE though.
Okay.
Gotta go with TDE for the culture.
Escape versus SWV.
Oh man. I love Escape. Gotta go SWV.
MJ
gotta
versus Prince.
Gotta go MJ. Love Prince. One of my inspirations. Gotta go MJ though. Also one of my inspirations. Gotta go MJ.
Hell yeah. Queen versus Elton John.
Now that's a tough one. now that's a tough one. But I'm gonna go with Elton John, man. Elton John gave us Lion King. You know that's my childhood, man. I gotta go Elton.
He also gave me Road to El Dorado.
Yeah.
Friends never say goodbye. Yeah, that chills every time.
and Benny and the Jets was sampled and gave us other hits by other people. So gotta go Elton.
Yeah. Rocket Man itself. Yeah.
Rocket Man, yeah.
Crazy. We got Nevermind by Nirvana or Master of Puppets by Metallica.
I gotta go Nirvana, man. Nevermind.
Okay. And then we got the Man in Black, Johnny Cash versus Elvis.
Oh man, I'm actually going Cash, man. I'm going Cash.
Yeah. Now I want people to also understand. I know they'll be like, "Oh man, Elvis stole." No, he ain't stole shit. I want you to put yourself in his shoes. He grew up around the same neighborhood as these people that make black music. What you expect? You expect him to steal it, or you expect him to just naturally adopt it? He grew up in the same neighborhood, same block of these people that make all this good music. Of course, he's going to adopt it. Just use your comment. You know what I mean?
He a lot of people don't know that he was at right. It wasn't just like the artist made the music and then he bought it, heard it, and then replicated it later. He's physically at a lot of those original sessions where he's physically there, right? They're having those sessions with him. You know, a lot of those blues legends, rock legends, he's in the studio with a lot of them. Even collaborating with it, right? So we don't know because we weren't there, but he might have had a real reverence for those artists. And positively, I like to believe that he had a real reverence for those artists now with him being white during that time. All the record label owners and all the people with the money and the powers that be probably was like, hey, white guy, you're going to be the guy to do this, right?
And then he's over here like, I naturally do this anyways. What are you telling me?
Right. I'm with this anyway because I hang with the black artists that you. It's like, yeah. So you know, there's a lot of other moving parts to that. So
right. Exactly. But yeah, you know. But nah. All respect to Elvis. Rest in peace to both. You know, Johnny Cash and Elvis. Great. Nothing but great artists, man. But now that brings us to first thing comes to mind, all before we close out. I'm gonna start off with color.
Beautiful.
Place.
Home.
Country.
America.
Food.
Hungry.
Smell.
Cologne.
Sound.
Chicago.
Song.
To Pimp a Butterfly, because we were talking about it.
Shoe.
Nike.
Team.
Bulls.
And hero.
My dad.
Yeah. And that brings us to the end. So I have a couple more questions. Just official closing out questions. What's next for you, man?
Man, once again, Shateria Beauty. Shateria Beauty, SHATERIA, Shateria Beauty. Get yours today. Your hair will thank you. Yeah, ShateriaBeauty.com. We in Amazon, we in Walmart. Let's get it. Hopeless Romantic, coming out this summer. Album number 9, on the way. Hopeless Romantic. Yeah.
That's big. Now, do you have any questions for me?
Man, you know what I'm saying? Let me know when you ready to do that score for, Broke Best Friend. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Real shit. Definitely. Man, but that brings us to the end of this lovely movie. Y'all should enjoy this almost hour and a half film, you know what I mean? A short film of great shit, man. We're always gonna have more on the way, and more chances to bring him back for a second interview, maybe a year from now. Also bring him back for Yard Talk News and talk that up. Just kind of go over some music events or even our upcoming podcast. So we have me and my other co-hosts have a podcast. It's mostly just vocal podcast, but still.
Dope.
You know, I mean, we gonna keep this connection going strong. You know, I've gained so many new close friends from doing these interviews, and I'm very appreciative of everyone I come in contact with. Very inspiring, and yeah, this is how I push through. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. It has been me, Big T, and my boy
T.L. Williams, baby.
Yeah.
Yard Talk, let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it. Deuces, y'all already know what it is. Like, subscribe.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was scrolling through my cell phone. Got me thinking about how it's been so long. It is what it is, see you're not mine now. Guess I had to fuck around and find out. Looks like you've got sick of being so gone. Too many distractions where it went wrong. I thought you and me be back to us by now. Think I need to log off this gram right now.